Alright, got another relatively quick short video here. Just wanted to show off a interesting mechanic that's been more or less enabled in the upcoming Calgar 3.25 League. And it revolves around these boots, Inextricable Fate. These are from Eater of Worlds. They have some life and move speed and whatever, but the important thing we care about is this line right here. All damage inflicts poison against enemies affected by at least 3 grasping vines. So once this effect is active, it's incredibly powerful because not only is it letting you poison with all types of damage, which generally speaking, being able to poison with elemental damage is really good because then you can take advantage of elemental overload to scale your poison. But it also is essentially giving you 100% chance to poison. So all your damage can poison and it's all going to poison. But enemies need to be affected by grasping vines, which we haven't really had ways to do that on enemies. The boots themselves have another line that says nearby stationary enemies get a grasping vine every 0.5 seconds. So after a second and a half, if they're not moving, they can have 3 vines. But that was like not really practical outside of some gimmicky boss stuff. But that's changing this league because we have one of these new special anoint only notables from the new Blight Oil. It's Vine Spike Cordial. Inflict a grasping vine on hit against enemies with fewer than 8 grasping vines during effect of any life flask. So now we can have control over applying vines as long as we have a life flask active. And so what I've been looking at a lot of builds for, that seems to be the easiest way to utilize this and take advantage, is a Pathfinder with Master Surgeon. Because people already play Master Surgeon Pathfinder builds, and you get some life flask scaling, and you basically want to keep your life flask up all the time anyway because you turn it into a whole bunch of regen. Now it's going to let you apply vines on hit. And so you can also grab like the other 2 chaos notes because you're going to be a poison build. And you grab like stuff to get your flasks boosted. Whatever it takes to keep your flasks up, and to whatever degree you want to scale the rest of your flasks. But basically now you have Perma Life Flask, which gives you vines on hit. And then once you hit 3 vines, you can poison, and you will poison with all damage. And so this can be used on like literally anything. It can be used on melee, it can be used on bows, it can be used on spells. Basically, I think the only real requirement is you want to play a build that hits a lot, because the faster you're hitting, you know, the less actual time it's going to take. You don't want to do like slams where you have to hit twice a second at best and it takes a second and a half to build it up, versus like something like Firestorm of Pelting, which I had looked at, or like a bow build that hits 15 plus times in a second and it just instantly ramps up those vines. But basically you can do that. You can poison with anything. The boots themselves don't even have bad stats. Like, they have life and movement speed. And then you can build around that and just kind of turn anything into a poison skill on a Pathfinder right now. And the numbers I've seen from the bits I've put together seems pretty good, seems pretty strong. The boots are very common. There's a lot of other stuff you can do on top of it. So for example, I have something like this one, which is a Firestorm of Pelting character. It has fully ramped up. I think this one's sitting at about 13, 14 million DPS. And it has like decent gear, but nothing like crazy. Nothing remotely near like perfect. And a lot of uniques that are relatively cheap. We'll see about Lightning Coil. If it's not changed in rarity tier, it wouldn't be too bad. But the only weakness is that just alongside basically every build that's not on the bottom left of the tree and getting endurance charges, this is a bit squishier to fizz damage than builds have been previously because of the fizz take and Azeli nerfs. But yeah, overall, I think it's a really cool combo. It opens up basically anything to be poison. And also, technically, you don't need to do it on a Pathfinder. Pathfinder kind of just makes the most sense because it already has poison passives and incentive to scale a life flask. Technically, what you could do is play just about any build you want, or any ascendancy rather, I guess, and just use Petrified Blood which makes it so that anything besides flasks can't bring you above low life, and you're gonna want to probably reserve a bunch of your life, just shy of half, whatever it is. And then you would actually use like a small life flask with, you know, reduced amount recovered, just so that it never actually tops you off. Because the thing is, we don't want the life flask to top us off. Well, let's say you have like 45% of your life reserved. That extra 5% that's in the balance, you're constantly trying to heal with a small life flask. And if you have anything that's like gradually taking your life away, like a life tap on a skill or partial life cost or whatever it may be, you can get the same thing where you just have a life flask going all the time. So you could do it on literally any ascendancy with that combo. I think Pathfinder is going to be the best for it, but that was one I had thought of as well. Because like you could do some really silly stuff like a Archmage build, like an Archmage Hierophant or Necromancer or whatever it may be, and then just make it able to poison now by going Petrified Blood. But yeah, cool interaction. Should make for some pretty strong builds. I don't know if it'll be like crazy OP builds, but it should be a pretty easy kind of like cheat for at least decent damage without very much investment into getting damage, because getting any type of damage to poison, especially if you're able to get Ellie Overload some way or another, and then having the built-in 100% poison chance, meaning you don't need to like scramble around for poison chance on your tree, is pretty good. It's pretty good. But yeah, just wanted to share that. Thought it was cool. Might do a league starter character that goes for that. Not decided yet. But we'll see. Waiting on the retaliation gems at this point, to be honest. And that's it. Thanks for watching.